Hey, what's up? Today's free game of the week is City Skylines for Epic Games. So this is the free game. It's a city building game, as you can guess, and of course, as usual, the preview didn't tell you how the game is played and didn't really show very much on what you're really doing here. So I started the game here. Let me load that up. That's one that had the title on there for you, so you could see the City Skylines, and I'll give you a review of this here game. And starting it up was a pain. It had to load up some other program, and which is a negative, and to install it. And then when it loaded up, you have to go through. Let me pause this. It had to go through the whole system of a sign-in process, and which you don't have to do. You can skip it, but it brings it up to another page where you got to sign in. So this is one of those companies that wants you to make an account and sign in to their platform. I hate that. That's just another extra step. At least it wasn't forced, so it was not as bad as last week's games where they forced you to do something extra. It was optional, but stuff like that just takes extra PC power and other garbage like that to lag you down. But luckily, this game isn't really laggy in that kind of department yet. But it can be really big and really expansive, so you never know what's going to end up lagging you when you start building a huge city. So when you start, you have very little money. And well, my game is paused in there. And the music is really, really loud. So this is the first starting map. And when you start, you have nothing except for this little highway here coming into your city. And you can't really change these roads very much. At the start of the game, you don't have anything. Like, you don't have all these options. You have the basic options. You have nothing for middle roads, what you want. And you couldn't connect. You can't organize your city at the start and make connections like this, like, three-way intersections, and make a whole huge thing on here, which you want to do if you want. This is the main artery. You want people to come in here, and then you want them to disperse and go throughout your city. So you can't do that there. So I don't recommend building near the start if you're going to play this game and try it out if you like the city building. But this is for review purposes, and it's a really pain in the butt to get started. These little tweets pop up, and they're so annoying. Like, they're supposed to be helpful, but some of them are like, oh, I can see the whole city from here, and they keep coming up, and it's too loud, and I want to turn them off, but I couldn't easily figure it out how to turn them off, and crap like that. And the help guy keeps popping up saying the same thing over and over again if you're not doing it. But when you have no money, you can't do anything. And then, like right now, I'm gaining lots of money, but at the start, if you don't do something perfectly, you're losing money, and that's it. Your game is basically over, or you go bankrupt. Well, you don't really get the game over. You go bankrupt, and then the thing comes up there. You can't get no more achievements or anything like that, and they'll give you some money to get back in the game. And you can take loans, which burn your money. But there's just a lot to do in this game, and at the start, you don't have any of the tools to actually build it. You have to increase your population before they unlock things for you. So you can't build better industrial zones, you can't build better houses and stuff like that. You don't build stuff. This is a zoning game, so you make zones and they build it themselves. But there's a lot of stuff they don't really tell you. They have things that pop up and say, oh, this is buildings. You got abandoned buildings. So it's like, what can you do? You can't build buildings in this. They build them by themselves. So you go through here the terrain thing here, and you can see the different things. You got your electrical grid, you got your water grid. At least the water is simple; it goes underground. But the electrical was kind of a pain trying to put these things, because they wrecked the roads, and roads will wreck them. Like, see, I put a building here and it wrecked this power line. But then turns out you don't need power lines going into zones. So if you have a zone already there, the power will go straight through it. So I don't need these power lines. I could get rid of them. They don't tell you that. You just got to figure this out yourself. So as long as I got my power plant over there, at least it shows you, right? That nice big power plant, and it shows you. The other thing is on the water. There's a water flow here. You see the water flow there? They don't really tell you that at the very start when you have to have a water pump. You got to put, there's a water pump right there. You got to put a water pump in there, and you got to make a power plant. They don't even tell you to do that. They just say make some zones and build some roads. Well, the roads are expensive. And I tried building a whole bunch of roads out here and try and make this all look nice, but then you run out of money, and then you try and build a power plant, and you have no power. You don't have enough money to build your power plant, and then that's it. You have no money, that people won't come to your city, and you won't get any income, and you're doing nothing. So if you're going to play this, I recommend just a little bit of an industrial zone, a tiny bit, and get lots of residential zones. But first, just build a few basic roads, and get your power plant out there, and make sure you're putting your water plant way out there. And you got to do like a sewage plant too, because you got sewage. So, and the sewage needs to go at the back. If you put your sewage in front of there, blah blah blah, they'll be drinking sewage water and will leave. But yeah, you had to destroy the buildings when people get them abandoned or your population is unhappy, and then you don't make some money. So right now I just did like another big upgrade or whatever, so I'm getting a lot of money. This is a lot for the start. When you're first starting, that's a lot, 8,000. But yeah, so it's a basic city building game, and you can expand. So once you get more area, you can expand your zones, and like that. So you could go over to this place right here, and then you can buy it. If you have, like, it's only 7,000 to buy the land. So the land is cheaper than building roads, basically, almost. Yeah, these places are cheap. And they have different properties on them. So we'll go to the cash thing here. And you can see the view here. So you got oil and fertile land for farms. And then you can figure out how to do specialized in industry. And then, like, for this place right here, let's get out of here and zoom in. And then you can just... go around like this. Where is it? No, that's why it changed it on me. There you go. So yeah, so you can see this section right here is all nice and oily, or up there is nice and oily. So you can expand your city in whatever direction you want if you want to get a lot of oil and stuff. And then you got to build your highways and connect like that, so they have natural resources connected to your cities, so they're not, that's something else they're going to complain about. First they don't complain about anything, and then all of a sudden you get enough population to unlock a police station, and then they're all crying about police, and your population is unhappy. That means they're not paying their taxes, and then you're screwed on money. So at the start, it's a really pain, and you got to be very picky at it. As for everything else in the gameplay, let's wrap this up. The gameplay is just a basic, boring SimCity type deal with extra steps and stuff like that. So if you enjoy city building, this is a good game to try out, because it works. The functions aren't too hard, and they're not too bad. And you don't have to sit there building every single building. Like you can check out their stats and what they're doing and how happy each building is if they want. But you don't build the buildings, you just build the zones, right? There's your zones, and you don't get the high industrial, like, the big apartment buildings unlocked at the start. You get them later in office buildings, and then, like, right now I'm at the stage where I got to build a university, because this was unlocked, and you can't build it beforehand because you don't have the people, and you can't build office. Well, you can build the office zones and just go like that. There's an office zone, and then you start the game up, and there's the tweets that pop up, and you speed it up, and then people will just come in there and build office zones. But you're not going to have any workers because you don't have very much. You don't have a university, so they're not going to have any smart workers. And that's it. This is how the game goes. You just put it on fast, and you go around there, and this is your little bars, blah blah blah. So for a city building game, it's working. It's not bad. You can expand and do more and generate your stuff and take care of your population. In that regards, I would give this game a 6 out of 10 if you enjoy them. If you are meh, it's just a free game. Like, I'm not going to be playing it. I used to like to play games like this, but I don't really enjoy it anymore. Maybe it takes more attention and stuff like that. Like, look at the cars are stuck in here. These roads are bad. They need a better system, and you can't get that at the start. So that'd be something to work on. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be playing this anymore. So for me personally, who just doesn't like to do other stuff like that, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Because, if I'm really bored, I'm going to try, you never know when you're going to get an itch to actually play a city building game. But if you get one, I'd come back to it, because if I'm interested in it, it'd be a 6 out of 10. But if you're not interested, it's like a 4 out of 10. So that is my confusing basic review, and this is how the basic gameplay is. And there you can see the people abandoning their houses and stuff like that. And your money goes down a lot. And you can really, if you want to see them really get angry fast, you just put your taxes up to maximum like this. Like, I didn't even have that before. These options weren't there. Yeah, put the taxes up to maximum, and then you can watch your city. You look at all the money you gain at the short term. But we will go here. This is on fast as it will go. But the happiness is they're going to drop down really fast. Yeah, they're already complaining about the taxes. See, they all abandon their buildings. They'll be all abandoned. Yeah, there's another one abandoned. Everybody's not happy. Population, there it goes. They're leaving. They're dropping down. Oh, nice big cash grab though, right? That was a nice big cash grab, up to 50K a week or whatever. And that's another confusing thing. This is the weekly income, and this is the day. So this is the day bar, and then so you're not getting it. You're going, hey, when's my other days? Where's my 40,000 this day? But no, it's got to be 7 times in a row, type thing. But yeah, so this is how easily it is. They're unhappy, and they start getting unhappy if you put your taxes at like 10% or something like that. And yeah, now they're very unhappy. You're losing everybody. I'm going to wait and then end this review when this gets into the negative, which is going to happen very fast. As you can see, I've already dropped it down to where I was before. And nobody wants to have anything to do with this game. And then, yeah, the other thing I didn't like about this is the effects. Like the music was really loud, the tweeting is really annoying, and the special effects like this makes it really hard to see. It's like every day is like a foggy day and you can't see what's going on in front of you. You can't do your zones and stuff like that. Yeah, see, I already did the new building. Yeah, I know there's a new building, but thanks for showing it to me. And the other guy keeps popping up his stuff too. So this is how easily it is. You can go over your taxes and get stuff like this, and just one thing wrong, it can lead to like a whole bunch of problems. Now you're losing money. Yeah, so now I'm losing money super fast, and that would be the end of the game. And you're losing this much money, and if you want to recover, you can go to your taxes and put them back down to 1% or something like that. And I wish these controls would be a little bit bigger for sliding bars, right? I'll give them 1% taxes, and then let's see how happy they get. Yeah, no, they're happy and they're moving back, but but you're losing lots of money, and then you'll end up not gaining anything, and then you have to destroy all these buildings because they don't want to move back in. Yeah, new building. Yeah, I know. They don't want to move back in to their houses and stuff like that if they're already abandoned. You would think they're abandoned. Let's move in. The cheap houses, but you basically have to. I'd have to go around here and destroy all these houses just so they can build new ones. And that's weird. It doesn't destroy the zone. You just gotta go like this and destroy like that. Yeah. There you go. So then they have new places, and they'll be happy, and they'll come in there. But you'll lose all your money and get them all mad at you and stuff like that. So that is it. I'm ending this finally. So 6 out of 10 if you like city building games, because it works. There's nothing special about it. It just works. So 6 out of 10 is actually good for me for a review. And 4 out of 10 if you're not interested in city building games and you're not going to do anything. 4 out of 10 is like, if you're bored, play it. It works. Anything lower is it doesn't work and it's not worth your time. Period. So thanks for watching, and see you next week.